Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's good to hear. So today I want to talk about this kind of sludge metal, experimental metal, industrial doom metal side project band called Thrones. It's called Day Late and $1 Short. Released in 2005 on Southern Lord Records. Thrones, like I said, is a side project of a guy named Joe Preston, a solo project. Joe Preston being a very prolific underground metal bass player guy. He's played bass in Earth, the band Earth. He's played with Sunn O. He's played with the Melvins. He's all playing currently with High on Fire. He's also played with the Whip. What else? Centuryman, Harvey Milk. The list goes on and on, actually. This guy gets around quite a bit. This album is just like an odds and ends kind of compilation album spanning his Thrones career from 1994 to probably late 2000s. This is the first album of material released for Thrones in 5 years when it was released in 2005. And it's, like I said, it's just a compilation of like old 7 inches, 10 inches, demos, some cassettes, some cassette recordings. Some of these songs, it says, were intended for a soundtrack to a movie that never got released. It doesn't really say what movie that was, but he made some weird soundtrack music on here, and it's all very, like I said, it's a very mixed bag affair, lots of odds and ends, spanning like, you know, heavy, dense sludge metal to like experimental kind of space synth sounds. He dabbles in ambiance, he dabbles in, you know, more of an upbeat kind of rock and roll sound, but it's all played with this very detuned, distorted bass guitar and kind of garbled lyrics. Each song's different than the next too. Like, it's, some songs do have a lot of similarities, but Joe Preston's a pretty creative guy. He's also a very, very strange man, so he makes all kinds of very dark and strange music, kind of reflects his personality a bit. He's got a good sense of humor about himself too. He plays all the instruments on here except on song 2, which is called Young Savages, which is an Ultravox cover. He's got the drummer from Built to Spill on there. It's the only other musician helping him out here, like playing instruments wise anyway. I don't know like who helped him record this stuff or anything like that. But yeah, he had said he's like, when he records these songs, he uses like a double neck bass guitar and like drum programming, a drum machine, like a whole wide array of assorted effects pedals and vocal effects and synthesizers, organs, pianos, multi-track bass lines and guitars and stuff like that. And he plays it all himself. It makes this very garbled sludge metal kind of stuff, very, very thick, very like distorted, very strange. So yeah, it's got this theme of bunnies with the album too. You got this picture of a kid walking down this long kind of country road holding a bunny rabbit. And then on the back here you got another picture of a bunny and like, I don't know if that is, a spaceship or a boat or something. And this opens up and you got this foliage kind of picture. And actually when you originally opened this up, you'd get this inside in here like that. So you'd get another picture of a bunny. And then on the back here has all the song titles written in blue, and this has a little footnotes about the recordings of the song and stuff. Like, for example, you're listening to song 5 right now. It's called Genix. Let's see what he has to say about that. Well, not a lot. 7-inch on Soda Girl, SG02, recorded by Tim Green at the Red House in 1994. But for sometimes he'll go on about, like, there's this one song in here, song 9, called Piano Handjob. And it was previously unreleased, recorded at Anus Monday in 1996. In spring of 1996, I bought a used Yamaha QX1 sequencer, the kind that uses 5.5-inch floppies, and proceeded to write music with it just to learn its limits. Later in 1997, I traded said sequencer for some synth pedals that I have since vaguely considered selling. The fruits of labor are sweet indeed. And it does have little footnotes. There's also some cover songs on this compilation album. Like I said, he covers Ultravox, he covers Blue Oyster Cult song, Black Blade, and that's actually one of the highlights of the album. I actually quite enjoy that song. He covers, does a partial cover of the Who song called A Quick One, which is, he just recorded a quarter of it, because I guess him and 3 other bands were making a compilation disc where they were covering The Who, and they just wanted to divvy this song up into 4, and he got the first straw, so he just did the first 2.5 minutes or so of it. But yeah, for the most part, like, this is a very varied album, even though it has like common themes of just weird sludginess to it, but he'll go into like, you know, sludgy, staticky kind of sounds, and then he'll do into like more upbeat yet still very sludgy sounding songs. But it's all very, very raw and gritty with like creepy, weird vocal harmonies that he'll do. And it has like twisted little electronic ditties on here. I think one of these songs is a cover of a TV show song, or part of it. Where does it say? The protagonist of a Sunday morning television program on KTVU Channel 2 from Portland, Bumpity was a buck-toothed talking mound of grass. Accompanied by his right-hand man, the shy earthworm named Fred, the Bumpity show provided weekly bouts of confusing and limp children's entertainment. This is a tribute to their theme, All Hail. But yeah, I can't really recommend this album to anybody unless you're a huge Melvins fan, Melvins completist, or you're very, very, very into sludge metal, and I like sludge metal that's very experimental and unique sounding. This isn't your traditional sludge metal. It's very bizarre. It's not very serious. But like I said, this isn't an album really. It's just a compilation of odds and ends throughout Throne's career. Very, very strange, kind of diverse, not really all that accessible really. I don't think your average metal fan will be able to get into this. It's very, very far out, very out there. But yeah, if you like, you know, eclectic and eccentric sounding, you know, sludgy, doom, industrial, experimental metal, you might want to give this guy a try. If you ever heard of Joe Preston and want to see what his music like, check out Thrones. But yeah, I can't really recommend this album to anybody unless you're like a fan of Melvins, maybe Earth and Boris. I can see Boris fans digging this. But anyway, Thrones, Day Late, Dollar Short, released in 2005 on Southern Lord Records. Peace out.